Hello, welcome everybody to this week's update. 2 weeks have passed, and I want to check what happened on the euro dollar, the pound dollar, and gold again. As you can see on the euro dollar, I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't close below the green line as we did, and run right through to 143 or 144 without closing the position first, but that didn't happen. We had to close it. I entered on this fractal here, closed it right here at the end of the day, made a little bit of profit, and as you can see though, the initial assumption was correct that price doesn't really want to correct a whole lot, or it doesn't even want to go down a whole lot. It created this up fractal right here, and it zoomed right through. And today being a very strong day, you would be in profit with over 100 points now at the end of this week if you would have taken this fractal right here. As you can see also, the weekly really seems to establish a new trend up, and I'm thinking it's not going to be too long before we hit this fractal, and then we are open to go all the way up here. Next resistance area is this fractal here at 151. So we do have quite a couple of weeks or even months ahead of us where you can just buy this on the higher time frame. Very significant here is this area where price doesn't go down more, but it turns around, it makes this fractal here, and it's just like I said last time, exactly at this point that you want to start looking for good entries on the lower time frame, which would be the daily chart in this case, to get in and just follow this trend that is establishing itself on the weekly chart. So on the daily, you can see ever since the weekly has gone up, all the buy fractals would have yielded profit. So now as the weekly stays up and price just keeps rising, you just want to take every fractal in that direction, and it's pretty surely making you a profit. So this is the ideal situation for position traders. Once the weekly decides which way it wants to go, you can just take every fractal or every signal in that direction, and you're pretty safe on that. So what I'm gonna do is just keep on buying this all through 2011 from what it looks like now. I'm thinking it could continue this way for a long time, and as you can see, we still have a lot of room to the upside if this should really be an uptrend right now. So all through 2011, I'm thinking that this is going to stay a buy. So you would just take every fractal and get out once price closes below the green line, or you get a divergent bar with good angulation. But I'm just going to let it run and be patient here to take nice profits from those uptrends. Now coming to the pound dollar, last week I said you would be long from here. Those three fractals were taken, but then as you can see, price wasn't able to go through this resistance area right here, but it corrected, and your trade or your entry right here would probably not have been a profit. But of course that just happens, you know. You just want to try and follow the uptrend, and as you can see on the weekly, it is not yet established all the way. We are trying to overcome this resistance area that is defined by those fractals right here, and once we are through there, you can pretty safely trade this up. Just like the euro dollar, you would just take every buy fractal and then see where it goes. You have one already right here, but it's created right within the alligator, so I'm not favoring this, since there's the danger of a side move. It could just go sideways, or it could drop more. So I would like to see a fractal in this area, or maybe even higher, with a correction, and then you have a nice place to put your stop at, and then take the bifractal and then just keep on trading this to the upside, since the weekly is going to move out, and as the euro dollar, it has a lot of room to go to the upside. So I'm waiting for a fractal here. Probably next week we're going to see that, and then I'm going to buy this and maybe get a good point to place a stop at. Because right now you could already put your order, your buy order right in here, but you don't really have a good point where you could put your stop. It would be hundreds and hundreds of pips away, all the way down here. That is in my, well, for my trading style, for my taste, that's not the best place to put the stop at. I would like to see price wiggling around more, giving me a nice support area somewhere here within the alligator or just above the alligator, and then buy this once we see a fractal in this area, or maybe a little bit higher than that. So a little bit more patience on this underlying, but I'm thinking this is going to be a good buy for the next couple of months as well. Now, coming to talk about gold, last week I said gold is probably going to rise and rise and rise, but as you can see, it didn't. It corrected, and ever since price closed below this green alligator line, I was switching scenarios. I was thinking the trend is just gonna remain intact and just go up and go up, but it didn't. Those three fractals right here are marking a very very important resistance area, and we were not able to take that right away. We are correcting now, and I'm waiting for a new bifractal right here to go long again. But I'm thinking that this is getting more dangerous and more dangerous, because on the weekly you have two divergences, and with the ending of the trend I was long at, you have another divergence here. So this is the third divergence in this up move. So we are overdue with the correction. And I'm thinking we're going to see this go down to maybe 1350 or even the 1300s before we can consider to buy this again. Now, from a wave perspective, we're actually expecting this to go, or we are expecting the oscillator down here to come below the zero line, which it hasn't done in a long time, as I pointed out last time. But I'm expecting that it's going to do that in a little bit. So I'm gonna watch that and see. Maybe I will buy it again. I am not really sure right now. We'll have to see what it looks like, but it's definitely losing some steam going up, that's for sure. However, this is not a good opportunity to sell. Gold is fundamentally just up, and we're gonna see a correction, yeah, but it's not gonna be a good sell opportunity on the daily time frame, not even mentioning the weekly. On the shorter time frames you could risk that, but it's not something a position trader wants to do on the higher time frame. So I'm thinking correction here, maybe just really sideways within this area, but it could even come down much more. This could mark the next target here, where price could come down and lose some of this of being all the way up here. So it would be nice to see it coming into the moving averages, taking a rest, and then going up again. So just looking at this to buy, but right now staying away and seeing what it's going to do. Now, also pretty interesting due to the Japanese catastrophe is the euro yen. As you can see here, it has been crazy this week. It has been all the way down, and now it's all the way up here again. Interestingly enough, though, when you check the weekly chart, the wave count is still intact. Even a crisis like that does not have an effect, or it does not negate the wave count, or let's say the waves already take this into account. They are already calculating for that. So you still have your low here for your wave 5, and now it's going sideways, having formed a very strong resistance area right up here. And once it hits that, just like the euro dollar and the pound dollar, I'm thinking that we are gonna go up, and the euro is gonna bash the yen in this respect. Right now though, I'm not putting in an order above this high, since I want to see price calming down first. I do not want to get caught up into some choppy market that's going up and down like 500, 600 pips in a day. That's not a stable situation where I can trade this very nicely. So I'm waiting for this to correct here. I don't know what it's gonna do since it's so crazy. We really have to wait what the weekend brings and what next week's trading is gonna do on this pair before we can take a position here. But I'm thinking if everything is gonna be okay and there's not gonna be another shock, there's probably gonna be a bifractal right above this high from today, and a good stop will turn up somewhere in this area. I don't know where yet. We will have to see how calm price really is, and then we can take this bifractal and just trade this trend to the upside. So we are looking at the euro dollar, the pound dollar, and the euro yen, and there are also more pairs involving those currencies that are just about to start a new uptrend. So we want to watch this very closely because, as I said on the euro dollar, those underlyings are going to yield very nice profits by just taking the bifractals and not really thinking about anything, but just taking them and letting the market wiggle it out by itself. And then we'll see what it's gonna do. So it's gonna be definitely some interesting next week or next 2 weeks until I'm gonna post again, and then we'll see where we're at. So thanks again for watching, and have a good weekend, and see you soon.